Right, hello, let's do a little October update in the back. It's not going to be a full garden tour, just a few sort of highlights if you like. And we've got mainly, I'm still going to just sort of focus on the stuff that's still got a bit of colour, still flowering. So again, we've got some hot pokers there. Obviously the dailies are still pushing some nice flowers. I haven't been keeping on top of the deadheading, so they have slowed down a fair bit. But yeah, we've still got a bit of colour. Still a bit of colour there. This is a sort of in between red and green canna. I'm not sure. I think it's Happy Wilmore or something like that. But it's got a flowers are starting to go on that one now. And obviously we've got some more dailies here still going. Still a few flowers left on the Tropicana. And we've got another Tropicana there with a bit of flower action still going. More dahlias, starting to push out some smaller flowers now, not quite so big and grand as they were. So yeah, obviously things have really started slowing down and wanting to start dying off really, but the Ansette green still looking pretty good. That'll stay in until that gets a light frost, and then I'll cut it back and lift that. We're looking at the Mousa Bajou with the totally shredded leaves from them winds we had last week. But still trying to push out a new leaf there. The Polonia or foxglove tree is really starting to look a bit sorry for itself. The brown spot on the leaves means that's getting ready to die back. But the cannas in the centre bed here are still going strong. These are well over 7 foot tall, these flower spikes, still plenty of flowers on them. I am going to have to lift them, it's just too big for that space. Blocking a lot of light to my palm at the back here, Bolivian mountain palm. So yeah, they'll get lifted. I mean, they are totally hardy here, but I'll lift them and put something smaller there next year. And again, I'll be lifting all these, the Tropicana Gold and Tropicana Cannas there. They'll all come out because they're starting to block a lot of light to the smaller palms I've got down here. So they'll be coming out to make room for the palms as they grow. I'll get some smaller bedding plants in there next year. With the elephant ears, I'll leave them in place. I left them last year, they came back. So yeah, I won't dig them up, I'll just let them die back, cut the foliage off. And I do put a shelter across the whole of this centre bed. Just a wooden frame with some corrugated plastic sheets. If you look back at the beginning of the year to some of my first videos, you'll see what I mean, but I'll be probably doing that in the next couple of weeks, depending on frost situation, whether we get any early frosts or not. So we've still got, again, some nice dahlia flowers here. Sort of a dwarf dahlia, and that's done quite well. It's given me plenty of flowers. This one's quite nice. Yeah, so obviously the sunflowers have gone over now, but we'll save some seed and maybe do some of them next year. The Milianthus major is done pretty well. I cut that right back to the ground this year. So we did get a bit of a, I'm guessing sort of fungal problem with the leaves, but I think that's just because it's cool and very cool and dry. So, but the new foliage all looks good, and yeah, that's put on a good, I don't know, 3 foot of growth. Not bad for a growing season. So I'm guessing the grapevine will start dropping us leaves soon. Did have some nice bunches of grapes off there. Still a few actually on there, but I don't bother to get in there and get them all. But I'll, when the leaves drop off that, I'll tie in all the stems nicely and get them grown all along this fence. The Tropicana Black here have suffered a bit of wind damage and blown over a bit, but not too concerned. The flowers have finished on these ones. The Cannamoosa Folia is done pretty well. It's a good 6.5 foot tall. Never had them flower for me. I'd be interested if anyone else have in the UK. We don't tend to get a long enough growing season, but they do flower, but the flowers aren't anything special, but it would be nice to see them flower. So looking at the insertes here, the reds, again wind damage, but you know, still that's what the leaves are designed to do. In the strong winds, that's what they do, they shred, but still don't look too bad. And it has continued to push out growth. This has got quite big this year. I mean, last year it was probably not even half the size. And even the impatiens are still giving us some nice colour underneath. And also we've got the fuchsias on the back there, they're all still in flower, looking good. Tree fern, done surprisingly well this year considering it was only planted last year, and stupidly for some unknown reason I planted it pretty much against the fence, and took the decision to pull it out beginning of the year and move it forward, and yeah, it really did come out with some a nice flush of big leaves. You know, these are a good 6-7 foot long, some of these leaves. I was quite impressed. Yeah, so that fills in that spot nicely underneath the cord lines. That gives them a bit of shelter as well from the sun. So the tomato tree never did ripen off, even though the fruits got to a reasonable size. They should obviously turn bright red. So that's not going to happen this year now, but there's always next year. And we've still got some of the begonias flowering. There are going to be a few gaps in the border now where obviously I've lifted all the tropicals and houseplants. They're all back in the house, all in their protection mode, so there are some gaps. So that'll be the main focus for winter is obviously the evergreens like your fatsias and the cubas. You see the aces now starting to lose their leaves for autumn. Still got some apples to eat off my apple trees here. Some good sized apples there actually. I'll take one a day off there until they're all gone. So we've got the cordline indivisor there. That was planted last year, and after the winter we had, I thought that might have died off, but that's done okay. Obviously some of the lower leaves have took some damage over the winter, last winter, but it has kicked out several new fronds this year. Do find them a bit slower than most cordlines, but I think as they get bigger they get quite nice. You know, obviously you got the orange stripe on the centre of the leaf, and they do get quite a wide leaf on them. Still got some begonias flowering there. This is always quite a nice one. That sort of always looks good. The Brunner silver heart, really sort of metallic-y silver leaves, and that's even still got some little blue flowers on it. There's another Brunner there, the variegated, but that's obviously starting to die back on the white variegated area, but they do die back over winter anyway, and obviously put a new flush on next year. So the gunner has started to look a bit dry. You know, we've, unlike most of the UK, here on the east coast, we've had months and months of dry, very little rain, just the odd drop here and there, not enough to even wet the surface. So I'm surprised that's looking as good as it does, to be fair. And the leaves have got massive on this year, really big, but yeah, that will start dying back soon. So we sort of, in conclusion, we'll finish up at the bog filter, which was really only planted up at the end of August, and the elephant ears have done rather well there. And most of them, the big leaves are probably around 2 foot, so they've done okay. And the pond, crystal clear. I've cleared a bit more of the duckweed off so we can see the fish feeding. They've gone down to 1 feed a day now, but they're still packing the food in there. Right, we'll leave it at that. And thanks for watching.